It's July 30th, 2018, and guess what time it is? It's time for the Bev and Paul Show.
Oh, good morning.
My name's Paul.
And my name's Bev.
We certainly are Paul and Bev and Paul, and everything in between.
Ooh, that's scary, right?
We love doing these shows. I can't believe it. It's almost time for our third year.
2 years.
2 year anniversary.
In
Will be our
September.
starting our
Yep.
third year, right?
Yep.
Isn't that how do you do that when you're born? So your first year, then your second year. It's always
Right.
a year ahead.
So, yeah. So we won't go there with that.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to have a nice show today, and here's our question for the day. Who can practice BioTouch?
Who can practice BioTouch?
We have a great one. These shows are designed to answer that question, to go over our part. We want to teach you. That's one of the main parts. Teach you how to do BioTouch.
Yeah.
We want to share with you a part of our manual or our book written by Deborah Schildhouse.
Yes, indeed. And to actually maybe get some comments or questions from you about what we're talking about on those days, and to share with you what's happening with our certified practitioners around the world.
Yeah, and we can actually, I think I've learned how to, if you put the question here, I can go back and forth, and find the question on the post. So, yeah.
Well, that's nice.
We finally learned how to do that.
Wow, yes, you did.
It's a we.
I'm watching.
We're redoing our website too. It's going to look really nice, really clean and clear.
I know. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So we have some updates from some of our certified practitioners, and the first one is from Rose and Larry.
The Rose and Larry show.
So I couldn't pull the picture, but anyhow, Rose posted. It's on our Facebook link. And it talks about Larry's update. And Larry got a new brace. So he's had this brace that wouldn't let his foot move. Mm-hmm. And the VA let him get a new brace. And the video that she posted was him hiking the trails at Mount Lemon.
I know. My goodness. Well, he's conquered Madeira Canyon. So now it's on to Mount Lemon. Yes.
And she goes, his right knee is stronger and doesn't hyperextend as much. He has better balance and is more sure of himself. He is almost a mountain goat. Oh, no, that's not a goat. I've been using BioTouch healing on his right leg to build muscle. It is working.
Oh, my goodness. Is it ever? I mean.
Incredible. And, of course, he also has learned to do some points on her.
Yes.
So that's going to be part of answering our question, who can practice BioTouch? And she was telling you something about it's not just working on his stroke symptoms.
I know. It was so interesting. She's like, she's noticed that since she's been working with Larry a little over a year on his stroke symptoms, a lot of his other, just his little self is getting better and better. Just little ways that she's noticing his overall health. She goes, it's so interesting because we're all aging. It doesn't matter how old you are, you're aging.
Who is?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are.
Who is?
Okay, everybody but you. Okay. And in spite of, just the aging process, Larry, all those other little things. So he's getting maintenance.
Incredible.
All the time. And all kinds of other parts of himself are getting better also.
It always reminds me, I always tell people in class, I'm 95 years old.
Right. So. And they are like, whoa.
30 years of BioTouch.
Wow.
So we wanted to say hi to Julie and Horace and Sandy are all with us right now.
I know.
So, hey,
Good
gang,
morning,
how are you?
Everybody. Yeah.
So that's our first sharing is with Larry and Rose, and we have a great share now. This one came from we had a workshop. We had a menopause workshop.
Right.
It went really well.
Yes.
We had 4 ladies, but we also talked a lot about guys' menopause and how how can you work with men going through their transformation and changes hormonally.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
And it all worked fine. And so we were talking about getting the husbands to work with the guys, and there was this big debate and how do you do that. And so we used the example of Cheryl Hackett, one of our certified practitioners, been working with us for years.
On the staff.
Yeah, on the staff, and an instructor. Mm-hmm. And she always sort of jokes about how it took over 6 years to get John to let her work on him.
Hey.
But lo and behold, he loves it. It really helps with his back pains. It helps him go to work if his neck locks up. And finally, she'd actually said to him, I'm really going to need you to learn some biotouch.
Yeah.
And he's like, for her, some of her problems.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, okay. He said, I think I can do that. All you have to do is put the manual on the bar. So when I come home and I'm going to have my beer, it's there and I can read it.
While he's having his beer. And there
it is. Beer, chips, and biotouch.
Sounds like a party to me.
And she was all afraid, like, oh my God, if I really take a picture of that, isn't it going to ruin the image of biotouch? I went, oh my gosh, no, it
This is life,
it.
right?
Right.
This is life, and biotouch is life.
He's in his man cave,
yes.
And he's home from work, and he's got, just to be at work all day, and he works out working on RVs in that heat, and they don't have air conditioning, but he can still come home, have his beer, have his biotouch, and be happy. Look at that happy face.
I tell you, that's just I think that. Thank you, Cheryl. That's
thank you, Cheryl, and thank you, John, for stepping out there.
Absolutely, and now he is helping his wife at home.
Yes, and she actually, just a couple days ago, had a real, her back was sort of really hurting, and he did it, and she just sort of led him through it while he was doing it, but he remembered the point.
Wow.
So that's what it's about.
That old saying about a picture is worth 1,000 words. Yeah.
So let's see. Hi there, right back at you. Good morning. Always good to see you.
Clara
Hello,
joined
Clara.
us. Hi, Clara.
so that was a great testimonial, and that just sort of helped us. I'm going to stand up to see if we can get that light to change. There, it changed again. Sorry, I just
look at you. You just stand up and the
boom,
light
and the light changes.
Wow.
So let's go to our question, because these two bring us to that. Who can practice biotouch?
Yeah.
And those, just those kinds of situations help us understand who are we trying to reach with biotouch.
Well, yes, I know it, and we reiterate all the time as much as we can in our classes and in our workshops. But this is a great time to remind everyone that this foundation, its purpose is to teach. And so we are an international educational foundation whose purpose here is to get this technique to everyone.
And let's use the manual, because it talks about the everyone.
Yes,
so we're going to read from you our preface, and then we're going to build on this a little more.
Right.
Here, whoops.
This is
we'll get
just
to this in a minute.
Here's
just from our manual.
A little, sentence from our manual. With a simple intent to help. Where am I? With a simple intent to help one's fellow human beings and proper instruction, assistance may be initiated by any individual. No special talent is required to be effective. Everyone, because of their inherent love and compassion for those who are suffering, can perform these methods without limitation. Everyone who is capable of understanding how to locate the few points described in this manual is qualified to participate in the healing process.
Everyone. Anyone. I mean, incredible.
It is, that's who can practice. Anybody, with anyone, as we were saying, anytime, anywhere.
And the key that I love in that is when it talks about anyone who has an inherent desire to help someone suffering, compassion for suffering. And what I've really seen is everyone has that.
I was just going to say, that means everyone.
Everyone, because
that's our nature.
It might be buried away, but I think we come into this life really wanting to help one another.
Well,
that's our innate desire.
Yes, and that innateness we call love. That's what our nature is, and we're always talking about that our birthright is to be healthy, happy, and loved. That means every single one of us. And so when we use biotouch, we're stepping in and we are creating this web of healing for each other and bringing us back into, what we've always been, what we always are. And that's just a connected group of love.
it's not a philosophical basis. It's
No,
not a religious basis. It's not some esoteric. It's just like that.
there it
It's
is.
just as simple as just getting it into the families. I mean, here we have up on the top, two little kids working on each other. We go up a little bit in age. These little girls were at a drug rehab community. They were being reunited with their parents. We go to Egypt to the two brothers. I mean, that's an awesome picture.
That picture, great.
The picture in the middle with these young boys, that was it.
ITK.
Integrative Touch for Kids program. And here it was too. The one in the red is teaching the other kid how to work on the boy with his neck. I mean, they're teaching one another
Right.
also. And then we have over here Angela with her two children. This is it. This is the inspiration.
Right. And this is what we want to remind. Well, we always try to remind ourselves of this, but where better to begin than in the family? It's the family unit that can take this in their homes, in their leisure time, before breakfast, in the evening before bed. They're empowered in their homes to do BioTouch with each other. You're also empowered in the workplace, on the bus. I mean,
it's funny. It reminds me in Hawaii we had when there were three ladies. They took our class and they all worked for the telephone company. They were customer service reps. It could be a very stressful job, especially if you work for our local phone company.
You think?
Well, we won't go there.
No.
And so they would actually, while they were on the phone and maybe in a stressful conversation, they would work on each other's neck. Just do the greeting and the neck set on one another, and it just lowered their stress level at the workplace.
There you go.
And then we have Kiara's, one of our certified practitioners in Indiana. Is it Indiana? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she just wrote us again about they are hiring her to be I don't know what they call it, the bar mom or something, but she works in the bar and she works with the gals who do the dancing. And she has such a compassion for these young ladies who they're trying to make a living. They don't have a great body awareness. There's a bit of exploitation, but she tries to bring a little love and compassion into a scene that could otherwise just be very abusive. Oh. And she does BioTouch on these gals.
Talk about getting creative.
Yeah, and she actually does BioTouch on the bar patrons too. That she goes around and that's how she earns her tips too.
Great.
Is doing BioTouch.
It doesn't matter where you are or what the environment. Love is always wherever we are. Right. And so as it says in our preface, just with that intent to love and to make somebody feel better, that's it. That's all that's required.
So our goal here is to teach you how to do it, to not just to help you feel comfortable to want to learn how to do it. It's really just so simple. 2 fingers lightly touching on the skin.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
It doesn't get any better. There's no mindset. You don't have to think about it. There's no intention per se. Nope. You don't have to like the person you're working on. And it's like I tell the high school kids all the time. Even jerks can do this, and I've proven it because I'm one of the bigger jerks on the planet.
I bet they love that.
I might be 95 years old, but I'm still a jerk.
Hey, you're getting older and older as you're sitting here.
Some hair's growing back, maybe.
No. A little bit of BioTouch on that scalp.
So we're grateful to be part of your life. Horace, we are going to play your little Love into Action today. So thanks for asking for that.
Yeah.
And, if you have questions, you can post them now. We can read them and also send them to us. And, if you have learned BioTouch, take a time today and tell somebody else about it. Remind yourself by telling someone else.
It just came to me. Pass on the good news.
Yes.
The good news is there is BioTouch in the world, and it is already a part of your life. You just have to claim it.
It's like we're putting on our website now. BioTouch is a profound option in healthcare.
Wow.
Yes.
I totally agree with that. That's a powerful statement.
So we want to teach you. We always want to teach. So here's our manual, and we are going to teach you the set A real simple set, works on a lot of stress in our body, and it's the neck set. So here we go.
The neck set is used for addressing most headaches, neck pains, and soreness of the upper back. These points are performed in matching fire on the large muscles that run along the back of the neck. Points 1 and 1 are halfway down the neck on the side of the large muscles. Points 2 and 2 are at the top of the neck on the side of the large muscles at the base of the skull. Points 3 and 3 are at the bottom of the neck on the side of the large muscles. As with any set, you may repeat the points as many times as you like. These points may be touched in any order, such as touching points 2, then points 1, and finally points 3.
There you go. Two young people again working on each other.
You know, as I was watching that too, I was thinking, and we said this before, I don't know of another healing modality where in the moment you can show, just like Cheryl with John, you can show someone how to do specific points for any condition on yourself, teach them how to do it on you, and they're going to be immediately effective. I really don't know of anything else that can make that claim.
So it's profound in all the alternative complementary integrative programs too. It really is, from what we can tell, the most simplest technique that anyone can do immediately.
Yeah.
So we are just so grateful every week to come share it with you. Please reach out and tell someone. It really is about putting love into action, as Horace said. Horace, we do. I mean, you're part of the family, and tuning in with you every week is great. We're grateful for the song that you wrote for us, and we're going to play the whole bit of it right here for you. And again, we'll see you all next week. Thanks for letting us into your home.
Oh, yes. Have a glorious week, everyone.
The people down there are people who care. They will get you back on your feet. Put love into action. Put love into action. If you ever want to have any real satisfaction, choose love while you still can. Don't even try to understand the healing grace in your own hands. Put love into action. I know you have heard these beautiful words. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Using BioTouch will help you so much. You'll never need anything else. Put love into action. Put love into action. If you ever want to have any real satisfaction, choose love while you still can. Don't even try to understand the healing grace in your own hands. Put love into action. Of mine has spent a lifetime teaching people people how to heal. Energy healing is such a good feeling, it'll help you if anything will. Put love into action, put love into action. If you ever want to have any real satisfaction, choose love while you still can. Don't even try to understand the healing grace in your own hands. Put love into action. Put love into action. Put love into action.